I hope you have enjoyed the lecture so far. This is a lecture on moving forward after the bias detection or knowing the importance of bias, then bias mitigation, then knowing how to design an inclusive AI system, and then measuring the fairness in AI and knowing what is good, what is not, and different kind of principle. Now bring us to the place that what will happen when AI causes harm and who will be responsible. Means AI does good, sometimes it does mistake, and some places in some domain, let us say autonomous car is there and AI is driving automatically, and now what will happen if AI does an accident, who is responsible. So fair AI is not only a technical issue, it is also related to policy, legal and regulatory issue. So if an AI system unfairly reject a person for a loan application or misidentify a person in policing, for example, the immigration system in UK visa application, or disadvantage of a job applicant, who is going to be responsible? Should we make developer responsible? Should we make company responsible, or the person who deployed it responsible, or the regulator, the one who is supposed to regulate it, or the question comes no one. Before EU/AI Act, actually no one was responsible, but after EU/AI Act, some people in this pipeline are now can be made accountable. So that leads to this lecture, policy, legal and regulatory framework for making fair AI. Why fair AI needs regulation? So AI does good, but AI can do harm, and when it does harm, it can scale very quickly. If you say that ethics should be followed voluntarily, maybe the voluntary ethic may not be enough. Now unfair system, if we are building, it can affect the rights, opportunity and public trust, rights of the people, opportunity for the people and public trust on the system. Now accountability needs more than we just say that technical best practices, but technical best practices are just best practices. If accountability is not there to adhere to the practices, then the system can do harm. Now there is a big divide between the AI regulation and also innovation. We will come to it next. Now when AI affects jobs, healthcare, finance, education, justice or unfairness, it is not just a design flaw. It can become a legal and societal problem, as we have seen that our system is having some or all of this issue, and we have seen already in the previous lecture that it is often by design. We have not captured it, but although it is a technical issue or design flaw, it soon will become a legal and societal problem. So a simple but serious scenario that an AI system which denies the qualified applicant, or an AI system which misidentify people, or it produces a bias outcome, or cannot clearly explain its decision why it is doing, or not an explainable system. What should happen next then? So this is where, means if an AI system is not doing this kind of thing and it is doing harm to the society, so what will do next? So this is where the policy and law enter the picture. So this policy and law not only for to punish harm after the harm has happened, but also to have a safer and fairer system before anyone will be harmed. Means why should we wait if it is harming the people? Before it harms the people, we can have a fairer and safer environment, and that is where the EU/AI Act came into the play. There is a big debate in the community that EU is regulating when it does not have an AI, while United States is not regulating and they are doing the AI innovation, and many other countries following the similar pathway like US. So, in my opinion, a safer place and fairer system is more important than the super duper innovation in the AI. So, in this lecture what you are going to learn today, that why AI fairness needs a legal and regulatory support, the difference between ethics and regulation, major legal and policy foundation for fair AI, what are the different legal and policies exist across the world, how compliance works actually in practice, and the main tension between innovation oversight. Means I was telling you, right, some people are saying that AI should not be regulated, innovation will get curtailed, while some people are saying that safety is important, and even with the regulation we are oversighting some aspect that is curtailing the innovation. Now, we were talking about difference between ethics versus regulation. So, when we say ethics, it means value, responsibility, intent, and what we should do. When it becomes a regulation, means a law, then it is a law, enforcement of the law, and accountability, means if it is a law, then if something going wrong, then someone is accountable, and if something going wrong, what we must do. So, ethical principles are essential, but without enforceable rules, fairness may remain optional. So, if fairness become optional, then the AI will do more harm to the society, to the people, if it is not regulated and without enforceable rules. It will not it will do more harm to the society. So, that is bring that ethics tell us what we should do, and ethic may be telling us we should do this thing, but it is not forcing us, while regulation is going to determine what we must do. Means from childhood we have learned that we should not lie, it is ethical not to lie, but if we lie and do some kind of wrong thing, then regulation will determine that you will be made accountable and punishment will be there. So, regulation is essential, is important, otherwise fairness will become optional. So, that leads to the question that will voluntary ethics is going to be enough? So, we have seen in a practice that voluntary ethics can fall short because of many reasons. One of the reason is incentive for following ethics voluntarily may favor the means if you want to decide whether we want to develop AI system more fast, or we want to make a fair system and put more time on it, often the incentive to make the system develop AI system fast take forward over the fairness. Self-regulation is good idea, but self-regulation may be inconsistent, some will follow, some may not follow, and harm may not be visible until after deployments. Means that we have building the system, the harm done by the AI system because we have not followed the ethical principle or fairness principle, we will not come to know unless it is deployed into the actual ground and when it start giving harm to the society. So, harms will be only visible when it is deployed, and affected people often lack power to challenge the decision. Like currently the AIs, all the big companies of AI are top notch in the US, and they are keeping themselves unaccountable in terms of their responsibility because they are too powerful. They are trillions of dollar company, and a lot of modern system and society depend on the technology from them. So, as long as we are dependent on them, it is very hard for getting away from it. So, hopefully sooner the different country become self-reliable, come out of it and start making them accountable. So, because the harm done by these things, often some people lack power to challenge the decision. So, good intention do matter. I am not saying that the company do not have good intention, but because of voluntary ethics can fall short, and incentive, power and accountability should matter too. So, that brings you to the question that what are the legal foundation of fair AI? Means fair AI governance draw from where? Means how did we come to know that we need to, and how did we this governance of AI or fairness of AI governance evolve? So, it come from human right principle. Almost every country have different level of human right adherence. Anti-discrimination law, most country have anti-discrimination law. Data protection laws, some country have data protection law and some country have guidelines. Then most country have some sort of consumer protection, and some have accountability norms as well. Now, that brings to the thing that AI regulation does not appear from nowhere, you know. It builds on older legal ideas about dignity, equality, privacy and accountability and protection from harm. In a modern society, we should have the rights of dignity, equality, privacy, accountability and protection from harm. So, that leads to the AI regulation and the evolution of laws in AI regulation. Now, globally, there is no uniform framework, but hopefully in the future we will come up with global governance framework for AI. So, the framework could be risk based regulation, right based approaches, transparency and explainability requirement, human oversight and accountability, documentation and auditing expectation. So, this thing what we are I am mentioning here, it is from the EU AI Act, which demand this kind of thing. Hopefully in the future people adopt similar kind of thing or the same thing. Now, different frameworks use different language. There are different countries have different framework. They have a different language, but many of them converge on similar concern. Not all. They converge on similar risk, right, oversight and accountability. And now, why all the regions are not having same framework? AI is a new phenomena, and there are inequality in AI development also, like some region like US is super AI technically powerful and everything is there. China is catching up, Europe is lagging behind, and other country is also lagging behind. So, that is why the reason regulate AI differently, like Europe has stronger right based and risk focused regulation. So, you came with AI Act very quick and also at the very right time. Norway followed the EU principle. So, its principle or regulations shaped by European legal and governance. India is having an evolving framework. So, it is trying to balance innovation, governance and scale, means it is not directly adopting AI Act. The reason these countries are giving that in AI innovation we are not self-reliable enough. So, by putting Act right before becoming the self-reliable on AI, we may curtail the innovation in their own country, and forever they will be dependent on other country for AI based technology, and then this may lead to the different problems of dependency in the future. So, AI regulation does reflect local legal tradition. Different countries have different political priorities, and also the capacity. Not every country have the capacity to implement everything, and also the societal needs. Now, social needs are also take play many places. Now, when we are building an AI system, why regional differences matter? Because companies often operate across borders. Nowadays, when we are building an AI system, it not only remaining in one country, it going to the other country as well. Most of the AI system are going via the over the internet, and some going via the devices which is having the AI system integrated. Now, user may receive unequal protection in different places. Some places user have more protection, some places less protection. Compliance are more complex, becoming more complex if you want to deploy globally, because if you want to deploy in Europe, you have to adhere to the European rules and regulation, which are more stricter as per EU AI regulation. Now, fairness of a system varies across different places and also contextually. So, global technology, if you are building an AI system as a global technology, you have to face local rules, and that is one of the central governance challenge in AI, that how to build an AI system which can be deployed in different country as well as following the rules of those country. So, that brings to the implementation and compliance means in practice, means what an organization may need to do. So, first they have to assess risk before deployment, that what are the different risks are there. They have to document the model and data sources from where they are getting the data and the details of their models. They have to test for bias and fairness, what kind of biases are there, and also provide oversight and review mechanism for their AI system. And they need to also maintain the traceability, that if something goes wrong, where is the problem, and also who is accountable. So, compliance is not only about reading the regulation book or attending this lecture, it is about changing how systems are built or documented or audited and governed. So, to take into account that just by reading book or going through this lecture or reading about compliance or reading the AI Act, it will not automatically be implemented in your system. The way we can adhere to the compliance by changing how our system is we are building, how we are documenting, and how we are getting edited and how we are governing. So, that brings to a simple workflow how we can adhere to the compliance workflow, that the responsible AI governance is a life cycle process. So, we have to have a compliance and design phase. We have to do the risk assessment, we have to do the review of our data collected, its source, we have to do the bias testing, we have to employ human oversight, and once we deployed we have to do monitoring, and if any incident occur, harm occur or any wrong thing occur, we need to respond on it and make the mitigation of it. Who is accountable in AI governance is a big question. Who? Is it a developer? Let us say I am working for Meta or Google. As a developer of AI, am I responsible of something going wrong, or am I using I am an AI system maker and I am using the model which is provided by some other company, let us say OpenAI, Google, Meta, Anthropic or any other company. Are the model providers accountable? Now, we built a system and let us say UIT deployed a system. If anything wrong happened, is the UIT who has deployed an AI system, are they responsible? Or the auditor who reviewed whether the AI system is complied in the EU, are they responsible? Or regulator from the EU Commission who is regulating it, are they responsible? Or the court or legal system or the community which is getting affected with the harm of the thing AI thing. So, these are the big question. Currently some aspect of accountability is there in UI Act, but the AI Act does not currently make model provider as a responsible, and developers will not be responsible. It is a company who is responsible, who is building the system. So, that brings to the question, what should happen when AI harms someone? A fair system should include a review or appeal mechanism. Human oversight is very much required for high stake decision, but I saw in the California that autonomous car by Waymo company is driving automatically. although the rules say that there should be human behind the wheel. So, that is a consumer company, consumer who is buying the AI based autonomous system, they are mandatory to be behind the wheel when even if you are using autopilot mode. But in the company who are driving the autonomous car for their business purpose, I suppose if harm happen, those companies will be legally prosecuted. Now, documentation of decision should be there, that what action, what has been done, if something wrong happen, what are the different route to redress or do the correction. So, fairness, if we go into one way, is not only about prevention, it is also about what people can do if when something goes wrong. So, question comes, can we regulate AI without slowing the innovation too much? The biggest comment comes to the EU that you are regulating too much and not supporting innovation. So, let us see the pros and cons of regulation and poor regulation or weak regulation. So, if we do a weak regulation, it can do the scaled discrimination. So, discrimination is going to be scaled because it will amplify. Weak regulation will make low accountability and it will bring the public mistrust, and deployment will bring the unfair deployment. Now, if we do a poor regulation, so what currently EU Act is there, it is not fully regulating. So, excessive burden is on innovators, means the companies, 4-5 people company who is actually using this AI system to build their system and finally bring it to the consumer. So, the burden is kept on the innovators who are innovating. Now, the compliance, EU Act compliance is very complex, especially for small company it is going to be tremendous headache and too expensive, and adoption is going to be slow down because of mistrust and other thing is there, and uneven enforcement is already happening, like the companies who are doing most money out of AI boom, top 7, they are not being enforced, and who are getting enforced, 4-5 employee company who are bringing the AI based system, whether it is a healthcare product, financial product, legal product, education product. So, they are being targeted under, they are being made responsible under EU Act. Now, the challenge is not about regulation versus innovation. The real challenge, can we design a regulation that support trustworthy innovation? So, I hope future EU AI Act, when it gets modified, it addresses this principle and it comes up with regulation practices or design a regulation that can support innovation which are more trustworthy and it caters thing. Now, what good AI regulation can achieve, means what are the advantages of regulating the AI? First and foremost thing, it brings public trust. So, if you are using an AI system in Europe, we know that we can trust it because it is getting most of the harm done by the AI will be taken care by the regulation. AI regulation also giving clear accountability, at least in UI Act, the end innovator who are actually using the AI to bring the final system to the society, they are making accountable. Although I wish the people who are developing the whole AI pipeline, people should be made accountable. Safer deployment is getting ensured in a high stake domain. So, different level of AI regulation is there depending on what type of field AI is getting used. So, a more high stake domain have more regulation. Now, more consistent fairness expectations are getting ensured and stronger long term innovation legitimacy is getting ensured. So, what EU is doing is a smart governance. So, smart governance can help innovation by making AI more trustworthy and not less trustworthy. So, fair AI needs more than better model. What fair AI needs is fair AI depends on the institution who are going to be using the law, the governance capacity and culture of the organization for building the fair AI system, the different technical practices, public accountability via the regulation. So, future, if we think from the future aspect, future of fair AI depends not only on technical excellence, we have a best AI system and everything, but it should also have a quality of our institution and governance choices. So, it also depends on the quality of institution and governance choices, and that brings to also the more discussion about why fair AI needs regulation. So, AI system should treat individuals equitably without bias, we studied in the previous lecture, and to do it the policy is needed because it can help in adhering to the rules and regulation, algorithmic discrimination, and it can build trust and human right, and who are the people can ensure all the stakeholders like government, tech companies, society, regulators and academic institution. So, the AI needs regulation because there are AI engineers are there, corporate leaders are there, investors are there are ethics and philanthropists are there, ethical and philanthropists are there, end users are there, the one who are AI stakeholder, international bodies are there, the UN human right, UNHRC, many things are there. There are research and academic institutions who are also building the AI system or practicing or using it. Then research and education institutions are there, government and policymakers are there. So, this whole fairness and AI needs so many people to cater, and what we need is a strong legal foundation and global framework. Currently it is fragmented, we do not have one framework, although European Union has one framework, but we need to take it to the globally. So, key legal principle we need to think about that we should have a non-discriminatory legal foundation global framework which addresses gender, race, disability. We should have strong data protection and privacy. Some of the example is GDPR, and if we are building a healthcare system, then HIPAA. Accountability for automated decision, that means if we are building an AI system which is doing automated decision, then accountability should be maintained. There are some international guidelines are there. EU has AI Act, which is already an act. Now, OECD countries have not adopted an act, but they have adopted an AI principle. Now, UNESCO has also recommended on AI ethics. Now, US do have the blueprint for an AI bill of rights, but it is currently not passed by the parliament. So, example of regulation, if you think is like in the EU is prohibited use of AI in biometric surveillance, mandatory impact assessment for high risk system. So, in EU we are already doing it, that biometric based surveillance we cannot do, and also for high risk system mandatory impact assessment need to be adhered. So, now this AI legal and foundation and global framework is quite recent, means it is still 9 years that since we started feeling the importance of regulating the AI. So, in March 2017 group of people came up and there was a strategy in Canada came up, pan-Canadian AI strategy in 2017. In Japan also the AI technology strategy came up in May 2017. In Singapore, AI Singapore July 2017. Then the others also came up in October 2017. UAE came up in 2021, and UAE came up with AI strategy 2031. They have and they bring up frontier AI strategy came up in December 2017. Then in 2018 the Denmark came with a strategy for digital growth. In January 2018, March, France came up with AI strategy. April 2018, UK came up with AI sector deal, and then in May 2018, USA came up with AI summit, and May 2018, Sweden came up with AI strategy, and May 2018 again Australia came up with AI plan. June 2018, India is also not falling behind. India came up with national AI strategy for AI in June 2018, and July the Germany came up with AI strategy. So moving forward in 2019, the June 2019 the Portugal national AI strategy came up. The October 2019 Netherlands came up with AI policy. So soon people started realizing that AI can impact many people, and it just started in 2017, the need of AI regulation. So we are pretty early in making AI act in many places, because the act takes time to come into the country. So in 2020 January, the Norway adopted AI policy. So and in December 2020 the Spain adopted an AI policy. Now in April 2021, so you see 2017, March 2017 to April 2021, within 4 years you given an AI Act proposal, and after that they have modified it also. And in 2023 March, the UK has approach to AI thing, and then EU AI Act has been proposed in June 2023, and finally it has been approved, and now it is an act in the EU. Now this AI legal and policy framework and regulatory global, it is too early to imagine that global framework we will be getting it, but you can see that so many countries have understood the need of regulating AI. Some has policy, only EU has an act, and others have guideline and principle. So what we need basically to get a legal foundation global framework, all these country government organization, US, France, Canada, UK and other people must come together along with international organization like EU, UNESCO, UN, and different kind of standardization body like IEEE, ISO, and various industry, because they are major stakeholder. IBM, Google, Meta, OpenAI, etc. should come together. Then only we get the global framework and legal foundation of AI. So let's take what are the different snippets are there as per region. So in EU it is already an act, and GDPR is already into the place, and OECD AI principle is there. In India, what has been done is that focus on AI for inclusive growth and digital public infrastructure is there. They have agreed to participate in Arctic Council research with Norway. They have signed TEPA with EFTA nation, and also exploring AI ethics and startup bridges, green innovation with Nordic countries. Now in Norway, what has been done, Norway is a part of European Free Trade Association. So it is trying to adhere to AI Act more or less, and it is giving a strong emphasis on ethical AI, privacy and non-discriminatory approaches, and to do more on Arctic research, green tech, digital governance. And it is establishing, like UIT is establishing Arctic Institute for Artificial Intelligence for develop science and innovation. It is a new thing coming up, AI Square. And Norway has signed trade agreement with economic partnership with India in 2024. And but what about the implementation? So EU has adopted the implementation and compliance for algorithmic audit, bias detection, and given model card and data sheet needs to be given public, enforcing the fairness principle, and also they have categorized risk of different types of AI system level 1, level 2 to level 5. So, if it is a low risk, the regulation is minimal, but if it is high risk like hiring, criminal justice, the strict control is there in EU-AI Act. So, some balance has been there, not a blanket same kind of regulation is there for all type of AI system, which is kind of good thing that it leads to innovation, but high risk area the stricter regulation is there. Now comes how since we are the AI developer and we are following this DevOps pipeline or MLOps pipeline. So, there are data machine learnings are there are DevOps are there, together they have to come and integrate this ethical and AI fairness things into their development principle. We have the lot of challenges currently, like how to define fairness across culture, like balancing innovation with compliance. Some country have lack of technical expertise in regulatory bodies. So, you see the 2017 only we have started thinking, and by 2021 first AI Act has been proposed, and last year we have already passed, made it an act. Now, we do not have enough trained people to even regulate the AI thing, AI principle and all the, so we need to train more people, but opportunities are there, like public involvement in AI policy need to be there. EU has taken feedback from public, especially making the AI policy for education sector. I was part of it in last year at the EU headquarters in Brussels, and where we have given our feedback on next EU-AI Act related to education, means AI system for education. Then ethical innovation also is opportunities ahead. How can we do the responsible scaling? There are big opportunity in creating a global AI governance standards, and finally we should think fair AI is not just a technical goal. Socially we should come together and we have a societal contract to make an fair AI system. So, in this lecture what key takeaways are there, that fairness in AI needs more than ethics alone. Simply saying ethics is not. Regulation matters because AI harm can scale very fast. Legal policy framework built on rights, equality and accountability. Implementation of AI regulation require documentation, testing, oversight and compliance processes. The real challenge of AI regulation is how to make a balancing in innovation with responsible governance. So, I hope you enjoyed and know about various regulatory and AI policy and what all going on recently. It is still evolving, lots going on, much more to come. AI is very nascent at the stage, more will come, and in the next lecture we will be going through the in detail how EU-AI Act model adherence and different levels of EU-AI Act, what are the different risks EU-AI Act has ensured, and also the hands-on, and that I will be doing it. So, I hope you enjoyed up to so far, and we will be joining with me to the next lecture as well. And to say you once again, thank you very much. Bye bye.